morning everyone. Today we are going to have a closer look at the fastest and most powerful electric surfboard on the planet. From day one, we here at Talk had a mission to design and construct a small and compact electric powered surfboard that mimics the motion of a surfboard on a wave. Throughout our journey we have created some magic to produce a product that no longer needs waves. We have kicked many goals with these two models. So here I would like to present to you the Ripsnorter 4 and the Ripsnorter Pro. I'm sure you can see here that the board is quite small. It's only 168 centimeters in length. It's basically got no buoyancy. No buoyancy means the motor, the electronics have to be very powerful to push this out of the water. The Ripsnorter Pro, at the moment, it's reaching 60 kilometers an hour, and that is docked using the GPS of the Insta360. So that's not something that we're just saying. That is documented, that is factual. So this board at the moment is absolutely flying. So let's have a closer look here of what we've changed from the Ripsnorter 3 to the Ripsnorter 4. Firstly, we've added these raised footpad areas. Okay, so this is adding structural strength to the hull. The goal here for adding these footpad areas is eventually we will start to decrease the weight of the board, putting less carbon fibre, less resin inside, and making one of the lightest electric powered surfboards in the world. Another point to note is we've changed the remote control. We've just made it more comfortable in your hands. Okay, when pushing the limits on the water, riding for 30 and 40 minutes, if it's not comfortable, your hand gets very tired. The foot pads and the bindings, we've added the ratchet system here just to make it easier to loosen and tighten the foot pads. The foot pads certainly are a very important part of the board. They need to be comfortable. You need to be able to have this toe grab position here on the board to be able to turn that board up on its rails and turn it back down on the other rail. So these foot pads, they need to be spot on. But what we'll find is all the secret sauce is underneath the board. So let me turn it over. So as mentioned before, the secret sauce certainly lies here. This is where the performance really matters on the jet board. Firstly, let's take a look at the rails. So on the Ripsnorter 4 model, we've made the rails a lot deeper to be able to carve, to be able to dig those rails into the water and really be able to turn hard. We've also increased the length of where they sit on the board, and it is an absolute treat to ride with this setup. Secondly, let's have a look at the design shape of the actual hull. From here to here, you can see it's a little V shape. So what we've done there is to make sure that you can move from rail to rail at the less amount of time as possible. When you're doing speeds of 40-50 kilometers an hour, if you intend on racing these products, certainly you need to be able to move it from rail to rail as fast as possible, and that V shape certainly helps you achieve that. Another very important factor here is the water intake. What we've done is we've increased the length of the water intake, so there is more amount of water that can go into the jet unit and be pushed out the back. Obviously, the more water that goes in, the more water it pushes out, the faster the board goes. So one of the only differences between the Ripsnorter 4 and the Ripsnorter Pro is the impeller. The impeller is now using aircraft grade aluminium. The design of the impeller actually has changed as well. It's very thin, cuts through the water very easily, which certainly has increased the actual speed from the Ripsnorter 4 to the Pro model 5 or 6 kilometers, which is a massive increase of speed just from a change of impeller. Lastly, let's take a look at the fin setup. We have the thruster fin setup. Fins certainly are like the wheels on your car, very important. If they're not set up correctly, the board just won't perform. The It's certainly a convenience factor. It's also a performance factor, making sure that you have the hard fiberglass fins, that they don't bend, they react with the water and help you turn. They certainly are great products. It is a great lifestyle to be able to ride these. You don't need waves, you can ride them anywhere. Certainly a lot of fun for the whole family. You can change the speed of the boards with an app on your phone. Torque is working very hard to make these products affordable for everyone, to build a community, and I hope we can continue